Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was hospitalized over the weekend for a bladder issue. Doctors at Walter Reed Medical Center expect that he will be able to return to work on Tuesday. Last month, Austin failed to notify President Biden of a prior hospitalization, even though the U.S. is engaged in a series of complicated national security matters, from Ukraine to a host of hotspots across the Middle East. CBS News national security correspondent David Martin reports.
Less than 2 weeks after appearing in the Pentagon briefing room in obvious discomfort, the Secretary of Defense is back in the intensive care unit for the second time since his surgery for prostate cancer.
Secretary of Defense Lloyd J. Austin III underwent non-surgical procedures under general anesthesia to address his bladder issue.
Dr. Herbert Lepore, professor of urology at NYU, says it sounds like Austin may have developed scar tissue from the original prostate surgery.
I'm going to speculate that over the course of the last couple months, scar tissue developed where the bladder was connected to the urethra.
So there was an obstruction in the urethra?
Yeah, so the scar tissue will impede the outflow of urine.
Austin has temporarily turned over the responsibilities of his office to his deputy, Kathleen Hicks.
We anticipate the Secretary will be able to resume his normal duties tomorrow.
But Austin canceled a scheduled trip to Europe for a meeting of NATO defense ministers and of the coalition which provides aid to Ukraine in its war against Russia. Austin will have to participate in the Ukraine conference by video. It's a setback in what was already a slow recovery.
How confident are you that your recovery is going to be complete enough to continue in what everybody recognizes as a very demanding job?
Well, nobody recognizes that more than me. It'll just take time.
How much time?
No, they can't put a number on in terms of days.
And David Martin joins us now from the Pentagon. David, just to help everybody understand, can you give us a sense of the items that would be on a to-do list for a Secretary of Defense, just to understand, you know, what this health issue means in the context of his role?
Well, I've always thought that Secretary of Defense was the second toughest job in government after president. It's 24/7, constant overseas travel, and lives are on the line. He's had to cancel a trip to Europe to meet with the NATO defense ministers, and he's going to have to do a conference on aid to Ukraine by video. But that's only his public schedule. The Pentagon is beginning to roll out its budget for the next fiscal year, and when you have a budget of $750 billion, that in itself is a very large task. And then, of course, he's dealing with the attacks against American troops in Iraq, Syria, and Jordan, and on commercial ships in the Red Sea. And I haven't even mentioned North Korea and China.
Right. Exactly. And so, David, what is this? I mean, are people saying, how are they assessing that to-do list you mentioned and his health challenges? I mean, can he do that given the concerns over his health?
Well, this is his second set of complications. It is not a sign that the cancer is recurring, so it's not life-threatening, but it's obviously a problem that had to be dealt with and that put him back in the ICU. Now, the urologist we spoke with said he should recover from the procedure he underwent today in fairly short order, but he said it is also possible that he could require additional procedures, further surgery. Best case, his Super Bowl Sunday was ruined, and he'll be back at work in the Pentagon this week.
David Martin at the Pentagon. Thank you, David.